This is Power Ground Boxing, where we're dedicated to the great sport of boxing. I need you to subscribe right now for another jab of boxing news from around the world, commentary and entertainment, with the focus of honoring those of the past and the present who have made a great contribution to this wonderful sport that we call boxing. This show is called Quick Jab, and right now we're going to be talking about boxing channels. That's right. Okay, so now listen. Boxing channels right now, they're popping up everywhere, right? The quality is not really good. The visuals are not really good. But one of the things that I'm noticing, and it's a reoccurring theme in boxing channels, they keep talking about the most negative things on the planet as it applies to boxers. Now, listen up, boxing channels. The boxing community, whether you know it or not, is a very, very small community. Now, it may not seem like boxing and boxing channels and the boxing community is a small community, but I promise you, when you compare boxing to all other sports, boxing is a very small niche in sports. And the reason why it's a very small sport and a small community is because boxing is an individual sport. Most sports involve the communication and the collaboration of other team members. So most people, they like being a part of a team. That's how most people are. So they really like team-oriented sports. But boxing is an individual sport. And a lot of these channels are getting worse and worse. I just saw a channel that inspired me to get on and talk about this. This individual was speaking so negative about one boxer that I'm like, man, what in the world? Why are you even creating a boxing channel? Now, what I will say is that this individual had like 2,400 followers, but everything that the person was saying was so negative. And I looked in the comment section, and guess what? People were on board with it. They were saying all the most personal things. They were saying horrible things. I just was just like, wow. That inspired me to get on and talk about this boxing community. Listen up, boxing community. If you are not trying to showcase, promote, market the talents of other individuals while simultaneously talking about events that are currently transpiring, then you are doing a disservice to boxing and the boxing community. If you want to get on and just talk all negative about this one fighter and then talk all positive about this other fighter that's this person's rival, you're going nowhere. You're just spinning in a circle. Even if 100 million people supported you, that is meaningless to the sport of boxing. You got 100 people that like the fact that you hate on this one person. Who cares? Okay, you getting your money. Okay, I get it. Oh, your channel. Okay, you get money from your channel by speaking the hate. I get it. Why are you talking boxing? I just don't get it. I'm a little disturbed with the boxing community, especially some of these boxing channels. These boxers, they put their blood, sweat, and tears into this sport. They do everything within their power to get you entertained, to exhibit a skill set that not many can exhibit. And this is the things that they get. if a fighter is not taking performance enhancement drugs and is fighting at a specific weight and is not missing weight and is not doing things out in the regular public that is detrimental to other people intentionally, I think that people need to stop trying to judge the lives of other people. No one in this boxing game gets into the game because they're afraid to fight another fighter. So get that. Whether they've been to the Olympics or not, most of these boxers are not afraid to fight each other. So it really gets on my nerves when people who don't box or a person who don't even box, never boxed a day in their life, talking about a fighter is afraid of another fighter. These fighters are not afraid of each other for the most part. They just not. It's just not what you do. You are taught in the gym certain strategies, certain techniques. You work over certain game plans to fight certain types of fighters. That's all. That's all you do. You executing a game plan. You're not doing it with fear. Most of the people who get in this square circle, they don't do it with fear. They just don't. So whether they become a Golden Gloves champion or they become a world champion and they box professionally, they don't box with fear. They just execute what they have been taught. And some of these channels are polluting the boxing world. And I'm so infuriated. I'm very angry that this is consistently happening. I get tired of hearing all of this drama from the same 7 fighters. It seems like these boxing channels, they are focused on about 7 people, and that's all they talk about. And it's really getting on my nerves. Like, give somebody their flowers. These boxers, they put a lot of hard work, hundreds, thousands of rounds, only to be mistreated by people that have no love for the sport of boxing. But I had to just get on and just complain about some of these boxing channels. Like, dude, how long you gonna focus on all this crazy stuff that don't have nothing to do with boxing? Oh, he looks like this, and oh, he did this outside of the ring. Look, focus on what he's doing in the ring. And if you're not doing that, then you probably covered and got your mind infected with hate. It's ridiculous, man. Power Grind Boxing, courtesy of Power Grind Sports. We talk about the biggest names in sports and entertainment, and I got to remind you to stay on the grind. Peace.